Hello, namaste. This is Allison. Thank you for practicing yoga with me today. For this practice, you will need a pillow or a blanket. And actually, let's have you begin lying on your back with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, and a pillow or a blanket beneath the back of the head. So just taking a few moments to adjust, make yourself as comfortable as possible. Arms can relax out by your sides. Or if you like to feel the sensation of the breath, you can bring your hands onto your abdomen or onto your chest. And just allow your eyes to gently close. Breathing easily in and out through the nose. Take a few moments here just to feel into all the places where your body is making contact with the floor beneath you. Kind of sensing into that meeting point beneath the back of the head, backs of the shoulders, any points where your back meets the floor, your hips, your feet. Go and take 3 nice full breaths, exhaling from the mouth. You might even cultivate a little sigh on the out-breath. And as you do exhale, allow all those meeting points beneath you just to nestle down, kind of release a bit further into gravity. Eventually you can return to a nice easy breath through the nose, feeling that wave-like movement as you begin to take your next inhale. The belly begins to rise, feeling expansion up to the ribs, all the way up to the chest. And as you breathe out, allow the wave to wash back down over you, from the chest down to ribs, down to the abdomen. And as you keep this full yogic breath moving, just allow each breath to grow incrementally deeper. So each in-breath, you're breathing a little lower, a little higher. And each out-breath, breathing out a little more fully, kind of cleansing, releasing any tension and any stale or stagnant energy in the body. Go and take 3 more full yogic breaths. Throughout this practice today, we'll keep this sense of fullness with the breathing, sense of kind of expansion and contraction of the breath. So when you're ready, you can keep your knees bent. Gently open the eyes and take the knees in towards the chest. So feet are lifting off of the floor, and just take one hand onto each knee. And as if the thighs and the legs are totally passive, totally light, you can begin to circle the knees away from each other, opening into the hips, and then circle them back towards each other. We'll do this a few times in this direction, just big, full circles, kind of drawing thighs towards each other and away from each other. Just continuing that breath. Take 2 more in this direction. And then you can begin to change directions. So continue to breathe. Thighs are totally light. Just allow the arms to initiate the movement as you rotate knees in the opposite direction. Go and take 2 more cycles. 2 more circles. And eventually bring both knees back up through center so they are stacked over your hips. We're going to bring a little bit of energy to the core of the body. So keeping the head resting on something supportive there, you can reach your arms out to a wide T and let the palms turn up and face the ceiling. So flex back your toes, bring thighs together, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, take both knees to the right side just a few inches as you draw the belly back towards the spine, kind of hovering there. And as you inhale, bring both knees back up through center. And as you exhale, change sides, both knees to the left, just a couple inches. And we'll continue this flow, each inhale coming up through center, each exhale to one side, kind of pausing on the out-breath, feeling that strength in the abdomen. Inhaling back up through center. And just continue at your own pace, exhaling to one side and inhaling through center. And if you'd like, as you stay with these slow, controlled movements, each time your knees turn to one side, you can slowly turn your gaze to the opposite side. Bringing everything back up through center on the inhale, and the knees turn, face turns on the exhale. Let's take 2 more in each direction, staying with your breath. And after you've completed both sides, the next time that you would take your knees to the right side, slowly take them all the way down to the floor. And pause here for a couple deep breaths. That left arm might lift a little bit off the floor. That's okay. Just keep the chest nice and open. Keep both shoulder blades softening back towards the floor. And keeping your legs right where they are, so you're in that spinal twist. You can bring your left arm all the way up to the ceiling and then roll over so you're lying onto your right side. So your knees are bent, palms are touching. Make sure that pillow or blanket is beneath your right ear or your right side of the face there. Now from here, keep both arms really long and let your left shoulder slightly hug back away from the ear. Legs stay where they are. As you breathe in, begin to open the left arm all the way up to the ceiling and out towards that wide T. Gaze can follow, chest can follow. And as you exhale, take the arm all the way back up to the ceiling and close in, lying onto your right side. And continue that as you breathe, inhaling to open up and out. Let the eyes follow the hand. And as you exhale, bring the arm all the way back up and over. Let's take 3 more in this kind of sunburst movement, opening on the inhale, expanding, and closing in on the exhale. Last time. And then we'll begin to add on. So meet back on your right side. You'll begin to draw some circles with that left arm. So before you start to move, again, imagine that left shoulder kind of hooking back away from the ear so the arm bone is really plugging into the shoulder socket. The palm will start facing down to the floor. And this time, as if your left hand is a big clock hand, you'll be revolving all the way around the body. So as you begin to inhale, take the arm all the way up towards the floor behind you, making a big arc. And at some point, the palm will turn to face up as you reach all the way out to that T. Turn the palm down and bring it all the way down across towards your left hip, all the way back over into that side lying position. So complete circles. We'll keep this going. You can inhale to open up and out, and exhale to circle down and across. We'll take a few more as you breathe. Allow the palm to flip up and to flip down as it feels best to your arm and to your shoulder joint. As you continue, keep the arms straight as you find those circular movements. Anytime you can touch the floor, go ahead and reach for it, but just keep that long open reach of energy from chest to fingertips. Let's take one more in this direction. And then same idea, finding those rotations, this time circling down first. So next time you find yourself on that right side lying position, inhale, take the arm down towards your hip, flip the palm to face up as you reach all the way out to a T, and as you exhale, reach all the way towards the floor behind you, up and overhead, and back around to that side lying position. So full rotations, stay with your breath. Inhale to reach down and across, and exhales to reach up and over. Continue as you breathe. Let the entire body move as a unit. So your ribs are helping you twist. Your neck, your head is rolling with that movement of the arm. And go and take 2 more full rotations. And the next time you meet your right side in that side lying position, go ahead and gently roll back onto your back. You can take both knees into the chest. Take a couple deep breaths here. You might even rock a little bit side to side. And then for a moment or two, let the feet relax down onto the floor. Let the arms relax down onto the floor by your sides. And just pause here, see if you can feel the difference between left and right. Kind of coming back to that full yogic breath. We'll find the same series to the opposite side. So lifting feet away from the floor, once again, flex the toes back towards the shins. Reach the arms out to that wide T, palms turning upward. Inhale here, and as you exhale, slowly take your knees towards your left side, all the way down onto the floor. And again, we'll pause here for a few breaths, allowing that right chest to open, both shoulder blades kind of softening back towards the floor. And then preparing for that sunburst movement. So this is that kind of opening and closing reach. You can inhale in this twist, and as you exhale, take your right arm all the way up to the ceiling and all the way over so you're lying onto your left side. Palms can meet. Again, feel free to adjust the pillow or the blanket. And hug that right shoulder back away from the ear. Now keep the knees where they are. As you take your next in-breath, open the arm up to the ceiling, arcing all the way up and out toward that T. And as you exhale, reach all the way back up to the ceiling and back over onto your left side. Do this a few more times with breath, inhaling to open. Let the gaze follow, let the ribs follow. And as you exhale, close in. 3 more breaths. last time. And the next time you meet on your left side, you can begin those clock circles. So allow the palm to start facing down towards the floor, and as you breathe in, trace a circle all the way up and overhead along the floor behind you. Let the palm flip to face up as you reach out to a T, and as you exhale, bring the arm all the way down across the hip, all the way back to that side lying position. And stay with your breath. Inhale to reach all the way up and out, and exhaling to reach all the way down and across. Again, allow this to be more than just a movement in the arm or just a movement in the shoulder. Let the spine begin the rotation. Let the ribs follow. Let the movement of the head, movement of the neck follow. Go and take 2 more complete cycles of breath. And when you're ready, you can revolve the opposite direction. So as you inhale, take the arm all the way down and across the hip. Palm can turn to face up as you find that T. And as you exhale, reach all the way up along the floor behind you and over into that side lying position. So continue this direction as you breathe and get a sense of that length of the arm being stabilized at the shoulder joint. So the arm bone continues to kind of hug into the shoulder socket. Moving at your perfect pace, of your internal rhythm. Let's take 2 more cycles here. And the next time you find yourself on that left side, you can slowly come back onto your back. Once again, take the knees into the chest. Feel free to find a little rocking side to side. And then reach both legs out along the floor. Both legs are straight. Take both arms up and overhead and just get one nice big stretch from toes or from heels all the way up to fingertips. Take a deep inhale with that reach. And as you exhale, bend both knees. Let's come up to all fours. So you can either roll to one side or you can roll straight up and over. And position yourself here for cats and cows. So fingers will be wide splayed, pressing through all pads, all knuckles of the fingers. And start to find a neutral spine. So allow the gaze to come down to the floor, backs of the ears slightly elevating towards the ceiling. And take a nice deep in-breath here. As you exhale, tuck your toes and round the spine for cat pose. Press the back towards the ceiling. And as you breathe in, point the toes and extend the spine. Let the belly draw down, heart lifting. Keep this as you breathe. Exhale to tuck the toes, rounding in. And inhale to point the toes, extend, roll collarbones open. If it's helpful for you as you continue, you can allow your eyes to close, just getting a sense of that kind of dance of the breath, that expansion and closing in. So the body, the spine is just riding that wave of breath. And let's take 3 more cycles as you breathe. As you complete these cats and cows, eventually come back to a neutral spine with your toes tucking under. Straighten through the arm bones, preparing for downward facing dog as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift the hips all the way up and back for downward facing dog. And give yourself a few breaths here just to walk it out. You can bend your knees, you can shift your hips around, you might shake your head a little bit, yes and no. Eventually find a place where your feet are about hip distance apart. A little more energy into the webbing between your index finger and your thumbs. And you can imagine that webbing on each hand is trying to energetically draw towards each other, like your hands are trying to slide towards each other. Now keep that kind of inward pull of energy and let your inner armpits draw back just a bit. Let your belly gently draw up towards the spine, and just take 2 nice full cycles of breath here. And breathing into that length from crown to tail and from sitting bones to heels. And as you complete this next exhale, gently lower down to your knees, reach the hips back towards the heels, take a couple breaths to rest in child's pose, and keep the arms reaching forward, keep the fingers splayed, so lots of energy running through the fingertips. And then we're going to practice Ashtangasana. So this is that 8-pointed pose. At some point, 8 points of the body will be making contact with the floor. It's a little bit of an arm and shoulder strengthener. It's also a chest opener. So with the arms reaching forward in child's pose, that gives you that kind of perfect distance for the arms to be in Ashtangasana. So keep the hands where they are. Come up to hands and knees. Arm bones start straight. Find a little bit of an arc to the spine like you had in cow pose, like you had on your inhale. Right, so your belly slightly drawing down. Now keep that little bit of an arc, shift the chest forward past the fingertips, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bend your elbows by the waist and see if you can touch down to the floor with the heart, with the chin. So your 8 points are hands, chin, heart, knees, and feet. Right, hover here just for a moment, and then when you're ready, you're going to lower all the way down with the pelvis, give a little pull with the hands, point the toes, and curl up for cobra pose. Rolling shoulders back, rolling chest open, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, lower down, press up and back for child's pose. So we'll put this all together with a little flow. Hands stay where they are the whole time. Take a nice full cycle of breath in child's pose, nice cleansing exhale. And as you breathe in, rise up to hands and knees. As you breathe out, Ashtangasana. So bend the elbows by your waist, touch down with the heart and the chin. And as you inhale, curl open for cobra. Roll the chest back. As you exhale, press up and back for child's pose. It's like a little caterpillar movement. We'll keep this going 3 more times. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, Ashtangasana, 8-pointed pose. Touch down with heart and chin. Inhale, curl up for cobra. Exhale, child's pose. And twice more at your own pace, staying with the breath, keeping the abdomen, the belly slightly hugging in, slightly hugging up the whole time. And last time, inhale to rise up, exhale, Ashtangasana. Inhale, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose. Go ahead and pause on child's. Let's take 3 nice resting breaths. And then when you're ready, downward facing dog. So come to hands and knees, splay the fingers, press up and back. This time in downward facing dog, please step your feet together so your big toes are touching. And then we'll come into a 3-legged dog. So keep your left foot where it is, take the right heel all the way back and up, and hover here for a couple breaths. centering the hips. So think of your right hip point slightly hugging down towards the floor, your left outer hip slightly drawing back. Relax the neck, take another deep inhale to reach the heel. Now we're going to come into Warrior One. So as you exhale, bend the knee, hug it towards the belly, shift the right foot forward, and then rise up into Warrior One. Let the hips square forward, reach the arms skyward. Take a couple deep breaths here, stretching through the fingertips, stretching through the wrists, letting the shoulders soften down the ribs. And get a sense here again of those points of contact beneath you. So where your heels are meeting the mat, where your toes are meeting the mat. You might even lighten a little bit of weight in the toes, a little bit of grip. So at this point, our hips are squared forward. We're going to come into Warrior Two, so we'll take the hips to the left. So take a deep inhale, Warrior One. On the exhale, open the arms to a wide T. Turn the chest to the left, turn the hips to the left. If you need to adjust your feet, please do so you feel nice and open across the hips and the inner thighs. From Warrior Two, you can take your gaze turning towards the right middle finger. Take 3 nice deep breaths here, expanding the breath into the sides of the rib cage, softening the shoulders down, making sure that right knee is right on top of the ankle, not going past and not falling behind. And we'll keep this foundation for Peaceful Warrior. So you can turn your right palm to face skyward, take a deep in breath, and on your out breath, lean up and to the left, taking that left hand down either onto hip or thigh or maybe calf, letting the right arm reach all the way up and overhead, and keeping that lunge in the right knee so you can continue to lift up through the right hip point, right belly, right ribs. And then turn your gaze gently down towards your left heel. Take another full cycle of breath here in Peaceful. As you breathe in, come all the way up through vertical. Straighten your right leg for triangle pose. Reach both arms out to a T. And as you exhale, extend your right waist. Take the right hand down, either all the way onto the leg or onto the floor. Left arm stretching skyward. And again, just feeling that expanse on every in-breath, from middle finger to middle finger. Every out-breath kind of re-stabilizing, rooting down, grounding beneath your feet. Take a couple more deep breaths. Let the shoulders wrap away from the ears. Let the chin slightly tuck towards the breastbone so the neck is in the same beautiful line as the rest of the spine. Let's take 2 more deep breaths in triangle. And to come out of triangle pose, drawing the belly in towards the spine. As you breathe in, rise all the way up to vertical. Bend the right knee once more for Warrior Two just for a moment. We're going to come back into downward facing dog. So you can kind of cartwheel on the hands, spin on your left foot, bring the hands to the mat, and step your right leg back for downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths here, easy breaths. Now before we find the same series to the opposite side, go ahead and lower down to your knees. Kind of revisit Ashtangasana. So shift the chest beyond the fingertips, lower down with the heart and the chin. As you inhale, curl up for Cobra just for a moment. Now stay here as you exhale, lower the chest, slide the arms by your sides, palms facing in towards your body. And then roll up for Locust Pose, Shalabhasana. So as you inhale, lift the chest away from the floor, reach the arm bones back and up, reach the legs back and up, splay the toes, and take 1 full cycle of breath, kind of expanding for Locust. When you're ready, you can lower back down, bring the hands next to your chest, press up and back for downward facing dog pose. And just continue to breathe. Step the feet together at the center of the mat. We'll get ready for 3-legged dog. So as you feel ready, take your left leg, reach it all the way back and up. Hover here for a couple deep breaths. Again, feel left hip point pointing down towards the earth, right outer hip drawing back. Nice, let's take another full inhale, reach the heel a little bit higher. And as you exhale, bring the knee towards the belly, shift forward for Warrior One. So place your left foot down, kind of anchor your back heel, And then rise up, reaching the arms for warrior. Hips are squared forward. Belly lifting away from the hip points. Chest lifting away from the belly. Fingertips stretching skyward. And just continue that breath. Inhale to feel that expanse and that space. The exhales to feel the strength, the rooting, groundedness. And then we'll prepare for warrior two. So another deep inhale. On your exhale, open the arms out to that wide T. Open your hips to the right, open your chest to the right. Feel free to readjust your feet so that both thighs are slightly hugging away from each other. Lower rib point slightly drawing in towards the back body. You can turn your gaze to look left towards left middle fingernail. And allow the breath to fill out the side ribs, kind of filling out into the side seams of the body. Again, check in with your knee. Stay nice and stable beneath your left outer heel and your left big toe. Allow this to be that foundation for peaceful warrior. So flip your left palm up to face the ceiling. Take a deep in breath. And as you breathe out, reach up and to the right, keeping the bend in the left knee for peaceful warrior. Gaze can turn towards your right heel. Keeping that support in the lower abdomen, lifting up and kind of bowing into the left waist, left rib cage, left armpit. Let's take one more full cycle of breath. And as you breathe in, come all the way back up to vertical for triangle pose. Straighten through your left leg. Push both feet away from each other. And as you exhale, deepen your left hip crease, lengthen left waist, and take left hand down either all the way onto leg or onto the floor. Right arm stretching skyward. Now feel the muscles in the legs as if they're trying to lift up away from gravity. The muscles in the lower belly as if it's trying to gently scoop away from the hips. See if you can slightly shorten your top waist and elongate your bottom waist. Let's take another full cycle of breath. Gathering that strength in the belly to come out. Push down with both feet. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, warrior two once more, just for a moment. You can bend your left knee and then make that little cartwheel with the hands. Hands to the mat, step back for downward facing dog pose. A couple deep breaths here. Now this time we'll come into that same Ashtangasana. So you can inhale in downward facing dog. On the exhale, lower down to your knees. Lower all the way down to your chest and your chin. And then all the way down to the belly as you inhale. Roll open for cobra. Now as you exhale, lower the chest. Slide the arm bones back for locust. Inhale, lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Reach the arms, reach the legs. And keep the chin slightly tucking in towards the breastbone. Take 2 full breaths here in locust. Another deep inhale, expanding into the front body. On your exhale, lower down. Stay here. Turn your face to one side, or you can rest to your hands. And take just a couple nice, easy breaths. We're going to come into corkscrew. So this is another chest and shoulder opener. So from your belly, this is where you may need to find your blanket or your pillow depending on how your neck is feeling. So you might just have that nearby. Take your right arm, reach it straight out from the shoulder. So you're kind of making a half T with the body. Palm is facing down. With your left hand, press the floor away and roll yourself onto your right hip. Now at this point, if your head is lifted or if your neck is working, slide the blanket or pillow beneath your right ear. Turn your right palm to face up towards the ceiling. And you should be feeling a little something in the right chest, right arm, right shoulder. So this is kind of step 1. You might stay here if this feels pretty good. If you need to deepen the twist, you can bend your top leg, that's your left leg, and you'll place that foot to the floor behind you with the knee pointing up to the ceiling. So keep breathing. Maybe you stay there. Next option is to bend the right leg as well. So both knees will be bent, both knees pointing to the ceiling, both feet on the floor. Always coming to that place where it feels like it's honoring the body. You're allowing yourself to breathe. And final option, if it feels good, you can take that left hand, reach it up to the ceiling and all the way back, palms facing each other. You might keep arms just reaching, or you might be able to interlace your fingers behind your back. Slide the shoulders gently down away from the ears, soften the neck, soften the jaw. Take 2 deep breaths. And when you're ready, little by little, you can begin to unwind step by step. The left hand to the floor, right leg can straighten, left leg can straighten, eventually rolling all the way back onto your belly. Take a few resting breaths here, just giving yourself time to feel benefits of that posture. And when you're ready, we'll change sides. So left arm can reach straight out from your shoulder, palm facing down, left shoulder kind of hugging down to the floor. Gently press the floor away with your right hand. Roll yourself onto your left hip. And just knowing different sides of the body, sometimes a different body completely. This might feel pretty good. You might stay here. Or you might turn that left palm to face up to the ceiling. If you need more, you can bend one knee at a time, right knee, left knee. Maybe you take the right hand and reach it all the way up and back, palms facing each other. Softening the effort in the upper shoulders, upper neck, jaw. Take 2 full breaths and direct the space of the breathing into the upper boundaries of the chest. And when you're ready, little by little, you can begin to unwind, slowly rolling back towards your belly. And then when you feel ready to move, you can bring your hands next to your ribs, press the floor away, and come up and back for child's pose. Let the knees come a little bit wider than usual. As you find that deep fold in the hips, deep fold in the knees, if you'd like, you can slide your forearms or fists underneath the forehead. And just take 3 to 5 really sweet, really nice quieting breaths here. Another full breath. And then when you're ready, bring your hands next to your knees, press the floor away. Come all the way up to a comfortable seat, both legs extending out along the floor. Both legs are straight, coming into a seated staff pose. From here, keep your left leg long, bend your right knee, take the right knee into your hands, and swivel the knee slightly outward, coming into rock the baby. So you'll take a hold of your right foot, the foot will flex back pretty strong, right hand can support your right outer knee or thigh, or you might even cradle the leg like you would cradle a baby. And then really gently begin to rock side to side from the right hip joint right thigh bone. Continuing to sit up tall. And take a few more rocks, keeping that lift to the spine. And coming into a spinal twist. The next time you rock the leg kind of across the left leg, you can go ahead and set the right foot all the way down to the floor. So the right knee will be pointing up to the ceiling. Go ahead and take a hold of that knee with your left hand or left elbow or left arm and gently twist towards your right for a variation of Ardha Matsyendrasana. So right hand can come back behind you. You can use the energy within the breath. So each inhale allows the back body to lift. Each exhale allows you to twist a little bit deeper. Exploring to find that place in the posture where the neck feels easy. Shoulder blades can drape down away from the ears. Let's take another deep breath. You can use your next inhale to lift up a bit taller. Use your exhale to come back around through center. Keep the right leg crossing over. Use the help of your hands to allow that leg, the right leg, to lay down onto the straight leg. Coming into a variation of Gomukhasana, half cow's face. So you might even hug the knees a little closer together. Sitting up nice and tall. Your right leg is on top, so your right hand will come behind first. So reach the right arm all the way out, turn the palm to face behind you, and then take that hand, walk it all the way back and towards your opposite shoulder blade. And then keep this really easy, being careful not to force yourself into this position. Take your left arm, reach it all the way up, palm facing behind you. And then bend the top elbow, see if maybe you can hold fingertips. Maybe you're holding onto your shirt. Just keep the energy of the elbows reaching away from each other. Crown lifting skyward. Find that little support from the lower belly. Take 3 more full breaths, expanding on the inhales, softening on the exhales. Another deep cycle of breath. And as you breathe in, begin to release the top arm first, stretch it skyward, and then gently release both hands. Let both arms relax by your sides. And come into a very gentle forward bend over the legs. So chin can draw in towards the chest, gently folding towards the knee. Keeping the energy of the sitting bones slightly drawing back. Energy of the chest slightly reaching forward. Just gently letting go of any sense of force or striving. Taking a few quieting breaths here. If the hands are on the floor at this point, you can press down gently. And as you breathe in, come all the way back up to vertical. Use the help of your hands, unwind the right leg, come back to seated staff pose. Take a few breaths here. We'll find the same sequence on the left side. So right leg can stay where it is. You can bend your left knee for rock the baby. So bring the knee in towards you so the foot is lifted. Support the foot with your right hand. Make sure the ankle feels strong, so left toes are flexing back, and you can support the left knee with the hand, or you can cradle the shin in your arms. Sitting up tall, begin to rock a little left and right, and just kind of explore that left hip joint a bit. Shoulders softening down. Go and take 3 or so more rotations. And as you feel ready, you can cross that leg all the way over, foot to the floor. Hug the knee in with your right arm or your right elbow. Turn to your left, bring your left hand back behind you. And again, feel every inhale bringing a little more length, a little more height to the body. Every exhale, slowly turning a little bit deeper. Find a place where your neck feels best. Shoulder blades gently dropping down the back and even broadening slightly outward. And then with your next inhale, lift up a bit taller, and as you exhale, slowly come back through center for Gomukhasana. So drape the left knee down onto the straight leg. Both knees hugging towards each other. So you might feel this a little bit in the hips. We're going to lift up nice and tall, adding the shoulder opener. Bring the left arm out to the side, palm facing behind you, and then gently walk that hand up towards your right shoulder blade. Again, being careful not to force this. Take your right arm all the way up to the ceiling, palm facing behind you. Bend the elbow, and maybe you're holding fingers, maybe you're holding your shirt. Let elbows reach away from each other and let that right shoulder soften down just a bit. Take the lower ribs back towards the spine. Take the crown of the head skyward. And just filling the chest with every in-breath. Softening shoulders, softening jaw, every out-breath. We'll take 3 more cycles here. And then the next time you inhale, you can release the right arm, gently release the left arm. Let both arms relax by your sides. And when you're ready, take that gentle forward bend, folding over the legs. Kind of surrender the weight of the torso, surrender the weight of the mind. Close the eyes. And take a few just quiet breaths. No striving. Nowhere to get to. Another breath. If your hands are touching the floor, you can push the floor away, rise all the way up to vertical. And gently unwind the legs, come back through to staff pose. And please slowly make your way down onto your back. So we're going to come into one kind of restorative hip opener, shoulder release. Start with your knees bent, your feet on the floor. Again, if you'd like something beneath your head or your neck, please find that pillow or blanket. And come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So with the knees bent, you'll bring your soles of the feet together. Allow your knees to gently drop open. If you feel this in your lower back, give a little tuck to your tailbone, kind of lessening that curve of the lower back. Continue to rest the hips here. Take the arms, fingertips up to the ceiling, and then just gently cross the arms, kind of hugging the shoulders, lengthening the back of the neck. Just allow your eyes to close, taking a few easy breaths here. Take a nice full in-breath, full out-breath. And as you breathe in, unwind the arms and then change the cross of the arms. So no effort, just allowing the arms to kind of fall against each other. They may be resting over your chest. They might be resting over your face. As we approach Shavasana, with the eyes closed, take a few moments just to listen in, kind of asking the body if there's any last shape, any last posture, anything you need to prepare for Shavasana. And if something calls to you, when you're ready, you can unwind from this position and give yourself a couple minutes to unwind however you need, eventually finding your way to Shavasana. Making yourself as comfortable as possible in Shavasana. Allow your eyes to gently close. Imagine that inner gaze turning down towards the heart so that the eyes can relax. Releasing any hold in the muscles of the jaw, the mouth, the tongue. And just allowing for some ease of breath. So the body is simply being breathed. Just very gently allow your awareness to flit throughout the body, acknowledging any sensations, anything calling to you. Making sure to acknowledge not just the places that feel like they've worked, the places that feel like they're holding tension, but also acknowledging places that are feeling pretty good. Acknowledging areas in the body that may not feel much at all. And then get a sense of your right leg, your right foot. Feel all the places where the right leg and foot are meeting the ground beneath you. And as you take your next easy exhale, Imagine the weight of that leg settling into gravity a bit further, kind of releasing into those points of contact. And bring your awareness to your left foot, your left leg. And as you take your next easy exhale, allow the weight of that leg and that foot to release down into gravity. Surrendering into those points of contact. And bring the awareness up to the pelvis, the hips, the sacrum. Becoming aware of any sensations, any energy here in this bowl of the pelvis. And feel as you take your next easy exhale, the weight, those heavy pelvis bones dropping down towards gravity. Kind of settling into those points of contact a bit deeper. And bring your awareness to your torso, your belly, your side waist, your lower back. Sensing into your chest, your ribs, your outer ribs, your upper back, your shoulder blades. And taking a moment here just to feel all the sensations present. As you take your next easy exhale, feel the weight of the torso releasing into gravity. Melting into any points of contact beneath you. Bringing the awareness to the right hand, right arm, right shoulder. As you gently exhale, release the weight of that arm. Surrendering completely into those points of contact. And awareness to your left hand, left arm, left shoulder. Acknowledging all sensations present. With your next easy exhale, surrendering the weight of that arm, that hand. And bringing the awareness to your neck, to your head, muscles of the face, the forehead, the temple, the mouth, the jaw. The weight of the brain. With your next exhale, allow the weight, this heavy head, to release into those points of contact beneath you, surrendering to gravity. And get a sense of the entire body. One perfect unit. And as you continue to rest here with each exhale, allow the weight of the entire body to surrender into those points of contact. And you're breathing. Coming back to that full yogic breath. Breathing in from belly all the way up to chest. And breathing out from chest all the way down to the belly. You can find some movement to your fingers and your toes. And just at your own pace, eventually bend your knees. Roll gently to your right side. And eventually come up to a comfortable seat. Joining the palms together at the center of the heart space. Bowing the chin, bowing the mind, allow the eyes to fall closed. Take a few moments here to find that gratitude, taking this time for yourself. Thanking your body for all of its efforts, your mind for being present, and your breathing for continuing to flow. And I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.